It's coffee and chat. Coffee and chat time today. So yeah, how you doing? And I have got coffee today. Look, this is another this is another of my mugs. Actually, this is my favorite mug that I have every single time I come over to my boyfriend's. This is the mug that I use. So I've got coffee in it, although it is very, very milky coffee. But anyway, coffee nevertheless. So I thought I would stick to the theme and have some coffee rather than tea today. So what are you all drinking? I guess, do you find that sometimes, you're very, very, I don't know, kind of like protective over a certain mug in your house, like this is my mug that I have for coffee, this is my tea mug, those kind of things, and everybody knows that that's your mug. Kind of subconsciously, you always go to that specific mug because you're like, it's got my name written all over it, even though it doesn't. And then when you've got guests coming around, you have guests coming around and you're having to give that particular mug out to somebody else, and you're thinking, I really don't want to do this. It's my mug. I don't want to share. Anyway, we live in a world where sharing is good. It's good to share. It is. It really is. It's good to share everything, even your coffee mug. So, anyway, today I thought we'll talk about we're still talking about hair toppers. So, clipping hair toppers specifically, we're talking about that, but it could apply to toppers that you actually install. But I guess the question that I want to answer today is a question that I get asked a lot, which is, do you only wear a hair topper if you've lost your hair? Like if you've got, like, if your hair is thinning and stuff like that, if you've got an issue with your hair at the top of your crown, is that the only time that you can wear a topper, or could anybody wear a topper? So that's the question we're going to be debating and talking about. Well, not really debating because I'm going to be talking. But in usual form, basically what we do here is I throw questions up. I chat about it. If you've got any questions, you can put that in the chat, and then I can bring it up. If you want to talk, then let me know, because, like, if you want to come up and I can share my screen with you, not a problem, and we can both be up on stage chit chatting and talking. If you're up for that, I'm up for that. If not, you can just listen to what I've got to say. You can add your own comments in, and yeah, and it's just free for very simple, easy flow. If you've got anything specific or personal, for instance, that you want to share, if you're going through something right now and you're in the chat and you just want, some love, you just want someone that's just going to be there with you on your walk, then yeah, this is a perfect forum for that, because it is a closed group. And even though we do share some of the things that I talk about on Instagram, not Instagram, on YouTube, but anything that we would have had in here that would be confidential, like if you came up with things like that, that will not be shown on YouTube. So this is the only forum where you'll see everything from start to finish. And on YouTube, we just kind of like give almost like a summary. And if there's nothing there, that's going to cause any embarrassment to anybody, then obviously we can put that on YouTube. But yeah, the whole purpose of this is really so that you can have a space where you can feel free for 30 minutes and just come and chit chat about anything you want to chit chat about. I like to bring in my topics, but you are more than welcome to talk about anything, and I will divert. I will even not cover what I want to cover, because it's not a problem. Not a problem with me. So yeah, so let's go. So talking about the topic of the day, which is hair toppers, and are they only for people that have got fine hair, thinning hair, hair loss? Now, traditionally, the answer to that question would be yes, because that was what they were created for. They were created to kind of like give you more hair at your crown. So, and a lot of people would start wearing them when they get to the point where actually it's so noticeable that they've got hair loss. But they just wanted something that was going to help boost their confidence and obviously give them more volume at top. Now, initially, people just used to use hair extensions, because hair extensions is obviously, hair extensions creates length, but hair extensions can be used to give you some volume. But the problem started happening where, if your thinning hair is quite high up, hair extensions couldn't actually cover. So when you put the hair extensions in, you would see the hair extensions through the fact that your actual hair on top was thinning. So basically what then tended to happen was people would have hair extensions further down just so that they'd have a little bit more thickness down here. But then what would then happen at the crown is that it'd be not proportional. So they have like a lot of thickness down there, but at the top it'll be really fine. So kind of like the look wasn't great, and that limited people to the type of styles that they could have. And yeah, and I don't feel like people felt confident. I don't feel it did the job, because ultimately you want a solution that's going to help you feel confident, that's going to take you from how you're feeling now to how you want to feel. So, and if it's not doing that, then it's not doing its job. And obviously, hair extensions was never created to do that. Hair extensions were pretty much, like the name implies, created to give you length, to extend what you've currently got, not give you volume. So hence came the arrival of toppers, and toppers have been around for quite a while. I do not know the year, because I believe like they have been around in different forms, but it's only when a large population of people get together, they suddenly start to give it a name, and then that name sticks. And the name that was given was toppers. And essentially, when you think about it, a topper is no real different in some of the integrated solutions. It's just more about the fact that you can clip a topper in and clip it out. But so essentially, it's still a system, but it's just a system that gives you more flexibility and means that you don't necessarily need to go to the hairdressers all the time to get it, retightened, refitted, and all of that kind of stuff. You can put it on when you want to, you can take it off when you want to, but it should still have the same features as an integrated system, i.e., still look natural, still allow you to manipulate styles the way you want to manipulate the styles, but just mean that you then at the end of the night you take it off and you put it back in the morning. And as I said in some of the videos I've pasted before, like, yeah, if you need real versatility, a topper is a great solution, because you've got full control over what you do with it. And essentially you can, and I do say these to some of my clients, like, if you have a topper and if you're going for, I don't know, an occasion, a wedding or something along those lines, or you're going on holiday and you don't want to be faffing with taking it off and taking it back, putting it back on again, you can actually have it temporarily installed. So yeah, and that's a good idea, because it just means that, for a short period of time, you don't have to worry about it. But one thing I will say is, you don't look after it the same way as you would if it's installed, because obviously a topper's not there on your head all the time. So when you're sleeping, you're not going to have the scenario where it's rubbing against your pillows and all those sort of things, which kind of like reduces the longevity of a standard installed solution. But I probably digress a little bit because I'm just going deep into like toppers. But so coming back to the question as to, can you wear it if you don't have fine thinning hair? Like, I would say yes, although I would actually add something onto that, because ultimately a hot hair top is about giving you volume. So number one, but number two could be that it helps in, I don't know, like, like changing your hair color in a way. So if you wanted to put a topper on and just have like your base color at the bottom, and then put another topper on which was a different color to your base. You can do that as a two style thing. Even it's done in hairdressing where the bottom is one color and your top's another color. You can use toppers for that. So, and in that sense, you can go, well, I've got what one would call standard hair. I don't have hair loss, but can I use a topper? Yes, you can. Sometimes people use toppers, and they're kind of like in the fringe form, and they want to actually just have a little bit of a fringe, and they'll clip in a topper, just in that section. Now, like, people may say, well, that's a fringe clipping, Clara. That's not a topper. But I'd like to say, like, anything that goes on top of your head is a topper. Like, it is, it just depends. You can have different sizes. You can have like a really small size. Like, we've got a range of, and we call them the Ultra Strip, but basically it's like a parting piece. So it just goes in your parting section. And a lot of people wear that because, their grays come up really quickly, and they don't want to have to go to the hairdresser all the time just because their grays has come through. So they're using that as an option to help them, so that when their hair, so that when their grays do come in, they don't literally need to rush to the hairdresser. So again, but that is a form of topper. I I really would love to get away from this rhetoric of, you know, um, toppers are only for fine hair, thinning hair, because then it kind of like, in a way, reduces the audience. And this is not to take away from people that, are struggling with thinning hair, alopecia, hair loss as a result of cancer. This is not to take away, because these are my core customers, as you are my core customers. But what I do also want to do is almost kind of like get rid of this whole what's the word that I want to use? The stigma. Yeah, the stigma that's attached to toppers, because people assume just because you've got a topper on is because you've got fine thinning hair, but actually it's not necessarily the case. When we take away the stigma, I think it's going to also help the community of people that do need to wear toppers, because they're not going to be feeling, well, we're isolated. We've been put into this particular group of people because our hair is fine or thinning, and we don't feel comfortable with that. Why should we be put into this particular group of people? Why can't we just be said, like, I just want more volume on my crown, which essentially is what it is. You want more volume on your crown. Doesn't really matter the starting point. The type of topper is what determines the end point, what you're going to get. But just because I'm wearing a topper, don't get it twisted. It doesn't mean that my hair is fine and thinning. And just because my hair is fine and thinning, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's an issue. That's not a problem. It's natural course of life. As we go through life, most of us are going to go through a stage where we're going to lose our hair. Our hair's going to be fine and thinning for whatever reason. Yeah, just take your pick. It could be because we've had cancer. It could be because our hair is just generally fine. Could be through hereditary. Could be because we've mistreated our hair. Could be because of our hormones. There's so many. I can keep counting. I can count so many reasons as to why we can start to lose our hair. And if we stigma it as it's a bad thing, then it's going to take us a lot longer to be comfortable wearing these things. So my point is this. My point is that, toppers are out there as an option for everybody, but the type of topper is dependent on what you're going to need it for. So if, for example, you have got female pattern baldness, the type of topper you're going to need is probably going to be, number one, a bit larger than if you don't. It's also going to have to take into consideration the fact that you may not have sufficient hair for you to have a system that's got holes on. It might mean that you're going to have a bespoke or a customized solution, which gives you like a little bit of a parting in a section. That means that you can part your hair as you normally would. It may mean that the clips have to be placed in particular places, and it may also mean that the topper itself, like I said in another video, has got a section for you to glue down. So those are kind of considerations that you'll be thinking of if you have got fine hair, thinning hair, alopecia, those sort of things, frontal fibrosis and alopecia. Whereas if you're thinking of a topper because, I don't know, you just want a new look, you want something different, but you don't want to actually cut your hair for it. You want something different, but you don't want to actually grow your hair for it. So you're thinking, well, I want an option of a topper plus extensions. Or your hair may actually be damaged. So maybe it's not even that it's fine or it's thinning. Maybe it's just been broken. So it's shorter than you'd like it to be, and you want actually your hair to be longer. In those scenarios, again, a topper will work. Now, but what you want to be making sure, if you've got good, healthy hair, is that you don't have a topper that's going to impact the health of your scalp. Because if you're going to have something or wear something where, for instance, it's covering your scalp all the time and there's no breathability, it's going to have an adverse effect on your scalp, and therefore you're going to end up with problems. So you want to take into consideration the toppers that you're wearing. if you're wearing it and you're clipping it in and clipping it out on the day-to-day basis, then it probably isn't really so much of an issue, the type of topper that you get if you've got standard hair. But if you've got a topper and you're thinking to install it, you may definitely want to have something that's breathable. Also think about how much hair do you actually have, because if you've got like a lot of hair and you're going to wear a topper, you want to make sure that that the topper doesn't look bulky on top of your actual hair that you've got. So you need to figure out, well, what am I going to do with the hair that I've got underneath in order for it to look a bit more or as natural as it possibly can. You also want to make sure that you're blending in your colors well as well, because when you've got fine thinning hair, especially when you've got fine thinning hair on top, the actual topper is going to take precedent when it comes to color, because you're going to have more hair from the topper than you will your natural hair. The flip is it's a bit different the other way when you've actually got a lot of hair. So now you're not actually looking for the topper itself to give you hair, you're looking for the topper to replace your hair. So again, it's a different kind of solution. So you may actually have a solution where you're thinking, well, actually, I want to integrate my own natural hair with the topper hair because I just want, I don't know, I want the topper to give me some lowlights, or I want the topper to give me some highlights. Again, that's a different type of topper you're going to be getting, because you're going to have something pretty much like UltraStrands, where you're pulling your own natural hair through the hole. So again, all these things determine what your end result is going to look like. Now, I am, as you know, I am in the business of custom and bespoke solutions. I do believe that we're all individual and we've got individual needs. I don't think we can literally brush ourselves with the same paint and say that we're all exactly the same, because that's not the truth. We're all different. And I feel sometimes that when we have just a standard off the shelf product, sometimes it needs a little bit of tweaking. And if it can be tweaked, great. But if you want something that's going to be a little bit more tailored towards you, then you're probably going to go down the route of custom. And I think a couple of videos before this one, I talked about custom versus standard. So, if you want more information about that, go and check that out either in the hub, or you can, obviously there's a summary version that's available on YouTube. But I think it's great to be able to have a look and look to see, well, what's going to benefit you the most. So I think when you determine for yourself that this is what I'm actually wanting the topper to do, then you're able to select the right topper for you. You're able to select the right size for you. You don't always have to have something big. You can have something small. It doesn't always have to be something that starts from the front. It can start from the middle. So there's all different angles, and you don't only have to have a top on its own. You can combine it with hair extensions as well. I feel like we are moving into a trend where people are getting a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more adventurous with their hair. And that's great news, because I think that there's so much we can do with our hair, but what you want to make sure is that that adventure is not going to cost you further down the line. For instance, like if you're looking at a topper, they do use clips, these flexible clips. Sometimes those clips can actually cause alopecia. So some people cannot wear them. Like I, for one, I'm allergic to those clips. So if I use those clips in my head, like I will start itching within seconds. And if I leave that in for a couple of days, I will notice that there's a bald patch on my scalp, because I'm allergic to it. It literally eats my hair, which I don't quite understand it, but that's what happens. So I tend to avoid using that. I prefer to use like a halo kind of strip when I've got like a topper in, because it's a little bit more comfortable for me. And then if I do need to clip in at the back, I will clip it in at the back, but ensure that it's not touching my scalp, so that I'm not getting irritated. Another thing that I do is sometimes I coat it with see-through varnish, because that seems to help. I think it's just like a slight extra coating, so that when that is on, I can't, it doesn't actually touch my scalp. Whatever material is being used in these clips sometimes is not touching my scalp. So you may be the same. It might be a scenario for you. So I'd like to know, how many of you guys wear toppers and things? Does anybody have a topper in? Are you considering wearing toppers? Has everybody on here got fine hair, thinning hair, or or some of you just like, I don't know, inquisitive, and you're just thinking, I just want to know what she's talking about today. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Mary. Yeah, you wear a top at the moment. So, Mary, let's have a bit of a conversation. Are you okay to have a conversation on chat? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. So how long have you been wearing your topper for? It's typing. Okay, so a little over 2 years, right? And did you start wearing it because your hair's fine or thinning, or was it just you were just thinking, I just want something different? Why did you start wearing a topper? Okay, your hair's fine and hair. And is it female pattern baldness just by any chance? Okay, okay. So before you wore a topper, did you do anything else? Did you put extensions in? Okay, you put extensions in, which right. So, and did you find that the extensions just wasn't cutting it for you? Okay, and just for information's sake, was there any particular reason as to why you went for a topper as opposed to going for an integrated solution? And just in case, for those of you that don't know what an integrated solution is, it's a solution which is basically connected to your own hair, not through clips. It means that you can't take them off. You'd have to go to a hairdresser to get it taken off. And usually you have like 4 to 8 weeks maintenance appointments where your topper is taken off, your hair washed, topper put back on again, and then you go for another 8 weeks. So yeah. Okay, so you swim a lot and you didn't want anything that was going to impact that. Okay, great. And so what do you think about your topper now? Like what are the key things that you love about your topper? Great, great. Okay, so basically loves the fact that it's flexible. You can take it off, put it back in again. She's got access to her scalp whenever she needs it. When she puts the treatment in her hair as well, she's able to do that without any problems. And yeah, okay. So, and also, what was that last thing? Okay, yeah. Boosts her confidence. Absolutely, 100%. It gives you a confidence boost. So, yeah. So, obviously, that's an example where a person has got fine thinning hair, female pattern baldness, and basically, if you don't know what female pattern baldness is, it's basically thinning on the crown. It starts really from the parting section and just gradually goes further out. So it means that you've got really fine hair on the crown of your scalp, and generally the sides of your back are pretty much that their standard thickness. So it means that when you have that, wearing a wig is probably a little bit of an overkill unless you're just thinking, I just want to hide my whole hair away. And this is where toppers play really well because they're just covering that top section and you're able to have the benefit of the rest of your hair and the sides and the back. So yeah. So that's a typical reason as to why a person would wear a topper. But like I said, it's not the only reason. So, and I think we are getting more and more people that don't have fine hair, don't have thinning hair, that are starting to opt to wear for toppers. But like I said before, it's a case of your criterias are different. So if you've got standard hair and you're wearing a topper, you don't need the thickness that you've currently got in the other toppers. So it's kind of like you need to be able to figure out what is it you're trying to achieve. Once you know what you're trying to achieve, what kind of topper is going to suit what I'm trying to achieve. And just like was said there, it was like I go swimming, so it's very important that I have something that I can clip in and clip out. Clearly knows her objectives, clearly knows the reasons as to why she needs it, clearly understands that this has given her a confidence booster. For her, it was about how do I get my confidence back? For someone that's got standard hair, it might not be about your confidence. It may just be like, hey, how do I get the next trendy look? How do I get to deliver this without having to impact my own hair? So your thought processes are different, even though the solution could well be the same. So yeah, and I feel like the more we kind of get that into our thought processes, I feel like the stigma is going to go away. You know, like when we wear hair extensions, people are not even afraid to like for their hair extensions to show, for people to know that, oh, they've got hair extensions, because yes, I want you to know that I'm wearing great length hair extensions. I want you to know that I'm wearing Beauty Works hair extensions. I want you to know these things. So essentially it's like, yeah, I can put it on show and I'm okay, because you know what, if I wear hair extensions, it means that, yeah, I don't know, like it says something about me. It says like, I don't know, I want to have long hair, I want to have thick flowing hair, and this hair is not mine, and I want you to know that I paid for it. I don't know why people like their hair extensions to show, but there are people that do. So yeah, whereas when it comes to finding in hair, we're just like, we don't want anybody to know. You know, some people, their spouses don't even know that their hair, that they're wearing a system, or they're wearing a clipping piece, and taking it off, and so on and so forth, because of the stigma that's attached to it. I'm quite here to change the status quo. I'm here to disrupt that, because I do really believe that it should be for everybody. And we've seen it. Everybody is starting to wear it. But again, I keep repeating it, and I'm going to keep repeating it till the cows come home. Make sure it's not at the expense of your own existing hair. If you need to go in and have a consultation with a salon, you know, go to our website, www.ultrastrand.com. There is a list of all the salons that you can go and visit. And although they're there because they provide UltraStrands, I'm sure a number of them don't just provide UltraStrands, they provide other products as well. So you know what? Tap into them. Hey, it's a-okay. But if you are looking for a custom clip-in topper, and you want to either design the custom clip-in topper yourself, or you want one of our agents to design it for you, then yeah, do get in touch. Like on our website, we do have some standard ones, which again will take probably about 4 weeks to come, but you can actually order a box directly to your home, and that will come delivered with a template kit. Now the template kit is going to teach you on how you can actually design your own hair system. And if you're struggling, you can go to any of our approved salons or any of our agent salons, or even you can have an online consultation with myself, and I will take you through step by step exactly what you need to do. And I can be there on the phone with you whilst you're doing your template to ensure that you get it done correctly. Essentially, once you've created your template, you just ship that item right back to our head office, and we will create your system for you. It gets delivered to you. And again, you can take it to any hairdressers to get it cut and styled, or you can take it to one of our approved hair salons or any of our agents. The other thing that I really want to say is that you can also use your own hair as well. So if you're going through cancer, or if you want to help somebody and you're thinking, actually, you know, my mother's got fine thinning hair and I want to cut my hair I can use my mum's hair on her hair system. It's okay. We love it when you do that. And plus it's going to be way cheaper than if you're relying on us to provide the hair. Or you can actually say, you know what, I've got a particular hair supply that I really love to use, and I use their hair, and I don't want to use anybody else's hair, but I do want to have a system from UltraStrands. Again, yeah, hit us up and we'll be able to do that for you. It's like, for us, it's about delivering what you need. And if we can deliver that in a package that is more suitable for you, then that's wonderful. That's just what we want to do. So yeah, so if you're watching us for the first time and you're thinking, yeah, I quite like that idea, then yeah, drop us a note. UltraStrands at ultrastrands.co.uk, and just ask for more information. Or you can go to our website, which again is www.ultrastrand.co.uk. So if you go to .co.uk, that's where our e-commerce shop is, and you can just order yourself a box. And tell you, the boxes are free. The only thing that you pay is for shipping. And even if you get the box and you decide it's not for me, that's not a problem. You just get to keep the box. It's not a problem. You don't have to return it. So, but if you did return it with your specifications and everything, we will be looking forward to designing your hair topper with you. So that is everything that I want to talk about today. And, you know, I really want to thank you, Mary, for coming up and, you know, sharing with us about your hair topper. And that's what it's all about. It's about us coming up and sharing everything, and sharing, you know, the things that we do and how we do it. And yeah, and just trying to make it better for each and every one of us, because we're all in this boat together. We're all in the same community, and it's great that we're able to share. So yeah, thanks guys for joining, and enjoy your coffee. Take care, and I will see you again next week, same time, same place, with a different mug of coffee. Bye. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Yeah, actually, before I go, yeah, my hair is like it's a whole lot of different colors. So yeah, I it started off as dark, like this black color here, and then gradually I've just been putting colors in, and so you can see it's all like it's not even necessarily even uniform, but I just like it that way because it kind of like brings out my character. I'm like, it doesn't have to be uniform to look good. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.